Patriot Voice EZ specifications.
Oh.
Power, 12 VDs.
Holy crap, that's fast. Hey there, my name is Sam. This is The Blind Life, where I help you learn how to live your best blind life. Today we are taking a look at the Patriot Voice EZ. Letter E, letter Z. This is a standalone document reader brought to us by Patriot Industries located down in Florida. Huge thank you to them for sending this unit out for this review. One thing I will quickly mention about Patriot Industries, like I said, they are located here in the US. All of their products are made in the US, and it is a family-owned company. But like I said, today we're talking about the Patriot Voice EZ. Standalone document scanner. And what that means is you put your document,
Please put the document on the reading surface.
All right, she's telling you what to do. You put your document, your book, your magazine, your mail, whatever you want scanned, you put it on the reading surface. It senses that, identifies that, takes a picture and reads it out loud to you. Couldn't be any more simple than that. Here we have our manual, and this is one of the first devices that I was actually able to figure out how to use because it's so simple to use, and then I could use the machine to read the manual. Put it under there, it takes the picture and starts reading to you.
Code across columns, 1-800-364.
Let's talk about the device itself, the hardware, then we'll talk about the software, the features, what it can do, what it does, and then I'll give you my final thoughts at the end, as well as contact information of where you can pick this up. So this device definitely ticks all the boxes for our 3 pillars of accessibility. What are the 3 pillars of accessibility, Sam, you might be asking? Well, if you distill down accessibility to its 3 basic components, you will find yourself with visual enhancements. Those are things like high contrast, large print, color contrast, anything that visually helps us to see something, magnification. Then you have audible feedback, so things that talk to you or make sound indicating something important. And then you have tactile information, things that feel a certain way to convey information. So the Patriot Voice EZ definitely has aspects of all 3. Visual enhancements. It has a very good high contrast black and white motif. Oh my gosh, I can't talk today. It has a very high contrast black and white theme, and they do a good job of using that to indicate important elements on the device. We have high contrast large buttons and dials here on the front. We have high contrast text, white text. The device itself is white, but the scanning bed here is black. And even the little detail of a white outline around the black of the scanning bed. Audible elements. Obviously, it doesn't get much more audible than the device talking to us, so that's fantastic. I should also mention that all of our controls, menus, and everything are spoken out loud to us. That's fantastic. We'll see that here in a second. Tactile. Everything about this is very tactile. You have these giant dials on the front here. These are also buttons. They even have these ridges around the sides that adds a tactile element to it. The power switch on the back is very tactile. All right, real quick, let's see how long it takes to power on the device. We have it plugged into AC power, and I'm gonna flip the switch on the back. So we hear this rhythmic beeping for about 20 seconds while everything boots up. And one thing I've noticed is that the beeping steadily gets louder as it goes. It's getting louder.
Please put the document on the reading surface.
And we are ready to go. So not too bad. All right, let's talk about function. So as I said, it's super easy to use. You simply place your document underneath the device here on the scanning bed, and it senses that you've placed something there, and then it takes a picture automatically. You don't need to do anything.
Instructions on use. Step 1. Remove unit from box and set the unit atop a sturdy surface upright.
And it is extremely fast, incredibly fast. Maybe the fastest OCR I've ever tested. Pretty awesome. Our dial on the far left changes the reading speed.
Faster, faster, slower, slower, slower.
And this is the slowest speed.
Handle on top and the 3 control knobs facing the user.
And here is the fastest.
User, we suggest you take a moment to gently feel the entire unit from top handle to the rear. The unit hand your hands over the sides of the bottom and the canopy houses up. 3 taps of control. Step 2.
And believe it or not, people do listen to their things that fast. It's kind of crazy. The dial in the middle will read out one word at a time.
Press the switch, switch, 2, turn, on, the, on, turn, 2, switch.
And then the far right dial is your volume up or down. This is the loudest.
Switch to turn on the Maze II, the Audible sound.
Okay, that is very loud. Here in my office, in my studio, that's very loud. And here is the lowest volume. Can you hear it? Now, these dials are also buttons. The first dial all the way to the left, when you press that button, it will scan, manually scan, or take a picture of the document. This is going to be very helpful for those situations where you're not taking your document out and putting in a new document. Think of reading a book, for example. You're just going to reach in and turn a page, then you can push the button to do a new scan. The button in the middle, the dial in the middle, is a play and pause.
Load up by an audio announcement, please.
So even if you remove your document from the scanning bed, it still saves that scan in its memory and you can bring it back later. Now, keep in mind though that as soon as you scan something else, it's going to override that memory and you will lose that document. Then finally, the dial all the way to the right, if you press that button, it will spell out the current word. Really great feature. Think of if you were scanning this and it had a website. Usually these things just read websites as one long word and it's just a big jumble. Usually doesn't make any sense at all. So being able to spell the word out.
D-O-C-U-M-E-N-T.
That is great. It's also going to come in handy with phone numbers. You can also press multiple buttons at the same time to change different modes or different settings. For example, if you press the first and the second button or the middle button at the same time, you will change the language. This has several English-speaking voices, including Samantha, which if you're an iPhone user, you'll be familiar with her. That's what we're listening to right now. This also has a couple Spanish-speaking voices. This does not translate text, at least not right now, and it also cannot read handwriting. Well, sloppy handwriting anyway. Then if you press the middle and the button on the right together, you can change the reading mode between document mode and table mode. Document mode is what it's set to by default, and that essentially means it's going to start from the top and read down to the bottom. If you have columns on the page here, it's going to read one column and then it's going to read the second column, kind of like a newspaper. If you're wanting to read like a bank statement or a bill and you have two columns on there, one side is the charges, the other side is the amounts for each charge. If you wanted it to read those correctly, where it reads the charge and then the amount associated with that, you switch it to table mode. Hopefully that makes sense. The Patriot Voice EZ also came in this really nice carrying bag. It is a hard canvas zippered bag, more like a box. But it's also padded on the inside. So if you have to carry this back and forth to work or on vacation, it's going to be very well protected in this bag. If you are curious about the dimensions, the size, the weight, all of that, we have that information on the back of the manual here, and I think I'll let the Patriot Voice do the talking for me.
Patriot Voice EZ specifications. Power, 12 VDC 3.0A dimension without packaging. 14HX11WX90 weight without packaging. 6 pounds. Dimension with packaging. 16HX13WX11D weight with packaging. 12 pounds. Camera. Fixed focus lighting. USB LED constant scan software. Proprietary interface body. 4mm thick aluminum powder coated white warranty. 2 years standard parts and labor headphone jack. 3. 5mm left side of machine, USB jack, type A USB, left side of machine.
So she did mention it there. You do have on the left side of the machine here, you have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. So if you want to listen to the voice discreetly, you can do that. And you have a USB port here. All right, here we have an article, magazine article.
Taking up, guess workout PF cataract surgery. The light adjustable lens requires more follow-up than traditional cataract surgery, but offers patients customized.
Now we're going to try reading a book. I don't have any doubts that it's going to work just fine. Might have to hold it down though. My finger was in the way.
Great leader and the fighter pilot. Nothing worked out as planned. First failure was the exam to take it.
So this is where being able to scan is going to come in handy. So I can just turn the page and then press the scan button here.
Copy of the great leader and the fighter pilot. They were allowed 2 hours a night for study. When lights went out in his barely heated barracks.
So it seems like no matter what you put under here, it's going to read it. I mean, it does a great job. Just like any kind of text-to-speech device, it might start spitting out some gibberish here and there, but I found that most of the time you can fix that just by taking another picture. All right, guys, so this is the Patriot Voice EZ, a standalone document reader that works pretty well. You guys always want to know the price. The price is right around $2,400. But if you guys would like to learn more about this device, I will have contact information in the video description down below. I'll have a link to the Patriot Industries website. While you're over there, check out all of their other devices. Once again, a huge thank you to the Palmers over at Patriot Industries for sending this unit out to me so I could make this video for you guys. If you have any questions for me, please leave those in the comments down below. I'll do my best to help out. Check out my website, theblindlife.net. Follow me on all my other social medias. And definitely check out the podcast, The Blind Life Podcast, available on all your major podcast platforms. That's it for this one. Thank you for checking it out. I will see you next time.